I was feeling so excited just a few minutes ago about my son and thinking about his guitar and thinking about my children and how they're really delving into their gift of artistry. My daughter, how she could just sit there and just draw, start drawing, and all of a sudden she has this full-fledged picture with so much precision. And that was one of the things that I saw from one of the persons who projected their pain on me as a child. That his drawing was just so line by line, precise and great form. And I thought, oh my gosh, wow, how awesome it is to be able to just record something that you've seen in nature, wherever it may be, and then be able to put it on paper in almost the exact form. I fell in love with art. I don't go to art museums as if someone who has fallen in love with it, but just the gift to be able to do that. Every time I see art or see nature, I'm just so amazed by its beauty, by its the crookedness in the trees and how the lines are still so precise, the humpback trees and the grass, and just looking at the art form of the clouds and the houses and cars, and just so astounded by that. So I thought today I was going to talk about that, just being able to help my children do that. And I looked at my calendar and I said, oh, I looked to see what I was going to talk about. And so today, on October the 11th, Friday, I have down what is healing, how to obtain it, and how we know we are healing from the inside out. And I asked myself, because I didn't have anything written down, what is healing? And it came back to me is that healing from the inside out is a return to our default settings. It is a return to realizing our purpose in life, a conviction, a rising of conviction of what we are here to do. And I love that. I said a return to our default settings, that all of this stuff that we have gathered along the way, all of these things that we have made a priority, that we have made important to our lives, that we have made a part of our identity, whatever it may be. I'm not here to minimize your experience. I'm here to help you to see your experience in a different light. That, I've said over and over again that we are here, and I continue to say it as probably an affirmation that our experiences do not define us, that we choose our state of being, our emotions, our feelings, that we do not have to label experiences to understand them. I think the biggest thing to realize as a child is that the more we label something, the more we can become it. The more we take others' opinions of us, the more that we become it. And by labeling something, we have put it in a box. And we too become this box, or surrounded by a box of this is who you are. And I refuse, as a child, often I refuse to accept someone's opinion of me, that you're going to be this way because you are this, you are doing this. And I would say, no, 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 no. That is your thought of me. And I would mentally give it back to them. It literally kind of see it floating back to them. That is your perception. That is your pain. That is your insecurities. That is your belief. And I choose not to have it. Now, does it mean that we don't think about it, try to say, okay, am I this way? Because I would say, and is that true? And quite immediately it would say, no, it's not. Or I would see something, say, okay, let me make sure that I am not doing that. Let me assess my attentions and see where is my heart when I said or when I did something. And I believe it's so important to, yes, to not be so quick to accept what others say about you. And it doesn't, to me, you can think about it and see if it aligns with you. And if it doesn't, to immediately give it back to where it belongs. And I believe we have the power to do that because I've experienced that in my life, that I've given it back to them, that I've had times of clear, very clear conscience, times of lack of judgment towards others, because you choose, that is an action. That's all. It's an action. It is something that you choose to behave. Just because you have gone through something, and I put it on my own life, just because you experience something doesn't make you that person or that individual. That was an act of pain or an act of love, an act of fear or an act of love. It wasn't by anything, any chance to define who you are. Some people that hurt, unfortunately, hurt others. And often we can do it consciously and unconsciously. But it's with our observation, our awareness, that we can change not only how we perceive someone else's projected pain, but how we perceive our role in this generational cycle of pain. And our role is to dismantle those thoughts, to face our feelings, to face our emotions. That's what I learned as a child. That's how you prevent from doing things to hurt yourself. That's how you prevent from becoming someone who drinks a lot or someone who does drugs, is that you face your emotions and feelings and you don't use anything external to cover them up. So for years, I sat angry at my father, but he was one of my greatest teachers in helping me to heal from the inside out. And it was the sense of awareness that told me that even when I went through the dark wilderness, that this pain, projected pain, was not on me. This was their way of releasing some of that pain. Often when we're in pain, we see the light, we see goodness, and we think that if we, project our pain and that we hurt someone or that we come in contact with that person, that maybe we can get some of that light. But the light, we realize the light is actually within us, that we don't have to take from others, that we don't have to force others to do things. We don't have to control others, dominate them. We don't have to subject them to our feelings and our emotions. We don't have to label them, stereotype them, to press upon our opinions of them. We have to embrace the light that is within us, the love that is within us, the love that never fails. We don't have to feel insecure, like a failure, or that we don't belong here. That is a mistake. That my life, I'm here. Love does not remember wrongs, but it takes the nuggets of that experience and it uses it to intertwine with our gifts and our talents and use it to fulfill our divine purpose, which is helping people to remember who they are. That our greatest commission is to love others as we love ourselves. And the reason we can do that is because we are love. We are from love. We don't have to seek outside to numb ourselves to find love. We have it within us. And it's that daily realignment, alignment with ourselves, with the inner spirit, the greater power that created the earth, the trees, that created things through man. And one man that created things. Whatever you see on earth is a representation of this divine power that is here to help us to become the best version of ourselves. And it's through remembering that we return, acknowledging that we return, awareness that we return to our default settings of love, that we dismantle the thoughts that create disease, disharmony, violence, anything that does not align with our true being, our true selves. So how do we know that we are healed? I think about my children, and I think about one of the persons that projected his pain on me, and about his ability to draw and to just imitate with the stroke of a pen, pencil, paintbrush, nature, or some other thing that he saw, a face. And if I was not healed from that, I would see their ability to draw as and even experience it as a trigger, bringing up old emotions. And instead of that, I feel joy. I feel just so excited and happy, jubilant, just, oh my gosh, overwhelmed with love and appreciation that I can see their creativity for what it is as an opportunity for me to see how far I've come, an opportunity to see my healing, an opportunity to be healed. That I believe triggers are not there for us to feel bad about ourselves, but as I believe any emotion and feeling is there as data to show us where we are. Where are we on our path, our earthly path to accomplish a spiritual mission? Where are we along that path? Are we thinking correctly? Are we thinking of healing? Are we thinking that every experience builds on the next? Are we thinking that our experiences do not define us? Or that trigger is showing you if you are having those emotions and those feelings and is bringing you back to that time, then somehow, some way in you is the belief that what you experience is who you are, was taken personally by pain, which is something that is impersonable. It will unleash on whoever and whomever it can. And so I am grateful for the opportunity to help my children, because it helped my children fulfill their divine purpose, their gifts, their talents. Our son, we got him a guitar, electrical guitar. That's what he wanted, music. Daughter and son, I've taken them to Dollar Tree and other stores to get them equipment, pens, pencils, crayons, markers, tablets to draw. Our cabinet in Oregon was filled with art supplies, and just really helping to bring out their creativity, which I saw at a very young age. Cameron, our son, creating Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of Play-Doh, out of his mind, not looking at them, something he's seen an episode, and they didn't watch it that often, but creating those characters just from the mind, remembering. And to be there for them gives me great joy. So when you experience something that is similar to what you had experienced with the projection of pain, and you no longer have any emotions, any feelings tied to it, that you can remain objective in that in the experiences that are similar to the events. That to me is a clue that you are healing or have healed from the inside out. When you take the lessons that you've learned and you are doing the opposite of what was done to you. If you weren't listened to, you make it your priority to listen to your children or to listen to others. You make a priority to create the environment that fosters thriving, healthy, safe, that builds instead of destroys. If you realize that the environment is negative, because we know, often we can say, well, our kids can take it, and, more strength, and just talk to them and build them up. And so when they go, they can withstand the storm. But there's also too a section in the Bible verse that basically says that do not underestimate the power of sin. And I was looking at that, and I was trying to see, I'm just going to look real quick to see if I still have that Bible verse somewhere. But it basically, gosh, I wish I remember, and I'll try to find it and put it in here. But I was talking to my son, and I knew there was a Bible verse that dealt with that. And I want to say it's in Corinthians. But it basically says, do not underestimate the power of sin and how tempting it can be. When children are out of the home and they hear other children cursing, when you're not there, and they get exposed to cigarette smoking and they smell it and they become curious. Do not underestimate the power. And when I think of sin, I think of any behavior that is not of love. Because when you think about the long-term effects of smoking and how it constricts your arteries, and how the nicotine can stimulate your heart rate, and how you're putting, that in your lungs, destroying your lungs, the ability for you to breathe. To me, that is not love. And it's not judgment. It's when you think of love, love builds, love never fails, love delights in good, love doesn't remember wrongs. And I believe love takes care of our bodies because we know they are the vehicles for our divine message. And so when we see things that are not of love, we are to speak out. And there's also to another Bible verse that says that, if you go in and they do not listen to you, they do not welcome you, they do not listen, then you leave. And I know that Bible verse is in First Corinthians. That when you try to make a difference, sometimes it may be choosing a different environment. And we all of us have to make that decision, have to choose. Do we stay in or do we get out? Do we go somewhere else? And when you have healed from the inside out, you're aiming to take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. You know that your body, mind, and spirit is not against you. You know that symptoms are data to help guide you. When you have healed from the inside out, you search for the truth. You seek the truth. You you're just more proactive in your environment and creating the environment that brings out the best in you and not the worst. Because if you think about it, when we still have unhealed wounds, often we are foggy in our mind. We don't see clearly. Often we choose similar environments. We continue to hurt ourselves unconsciously and unconsciously. We are with certain people that we know aren't good for us at that time in our lives, but we stay there. And often it's because we doubt, we disbelieve, and often because we're still tied to that pain. When you wonder why statistics say, and remember I say statistics have a purpose, but when they have that, if you've been abused, you end up being an abuser. Some people do. If you are in a violent relationship, you tend to go to violent relationships. It's because we have not healed, because we have not put that experience in its rightful place, and because we do not love ourselves. Because if we truly love ourselves, we are going to seek healing. We are going to seek the right environments, the right people. We are going to align ourselves with the truth that is inside of us. And so a healing from the inside out is so important, because that is sustainable healing, because that builds, and it doesn't cover up, it doesn't numb, it doesn't agree with wrongs or any behavior that makes you feel like, or I shouldn't say make you feel like, because no one can make you feel a certain way. Any behavior that is the opposite of what you know in your heart and your minds, where the truth lies. Because we all have this internal thermostat that we know between right and wrong. But it's often the environments, we allow the environments to shape us, to cover up this thermostat, to numb it. But it's just seeking the truth, seeking what is the best way for me to heal? What do I need to let go? So that I can be there for my children, so I can be there for myself, so I can be there for the next generation, so I can hear them, so I can really see what they're going through and have the conversations that we need to have. What is their school like? What are their friends doing? What are they treating them like? What thoughts are you having? It's through conversation that we find out. It's through spending time with ourselves and the people that we love. That as we continue to seek the truth, I believe the brighter our light shines. And as we allow our light to shine on circumstances, on people, their lights, they begin to see. And when they see, their light shine. And this bright light that we're seeing is composed of love. Love is truth. Love heals. Love seeks to bring out the best in people. And love is here to fulfill their divine purpose. This is Tamika Chambers with Create a Generational Love Cycle. We break the cycle of pain by not focusing on it, but turning our attention to dismantling the thoughts that created it in the first place. We seek to love. We seek truth. We seek to honor. We seek to be our default setting, who we really are. And from there, others see themselves as well. I have my newsletter, Notes on Life, Empowering You to Be You, where, it's not just fulfilling your divine purpose, but doing it in such a way that you achieve and sustain optimal health. So that's what that newsletter is about. I am here, as you all are, to fulfill our divine purpose, our intermingling with our gifts, our talents, our experiences. And we are also here for those that have children, caregivers, aunts, uncles, grandparents, mothers, fathers. We are here also to help our children to do the same, as our children are here to help us to fulfill our purpose. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Have a great weekend. Monday does not have to be cardiac day or the highest incidence of cardiac events. Choose to heal from the inside out. Choose to see what it is you need to heal from and be receptive to what that looks like in your life. I'll talk to you soon.